Welcome to the 7th edition of Tax Watch, organized by the Tax Club of the University of Ibadan.
It's my great honor to welcome you all to this glorious occasion, the 7th edition of Tax Watch. As you may know, tax reforms have recently advanced to the second bill stage, sparkling widespread discussion across the country. Taxation as a cornerstone of fiscal policy, this serves both the government and the people. It is our civic duty as informed and responsible individuals to comply with tax regulations and not fall into default. The theme of this year's event is Economic Agents and the Circular Future, redefining the status quo. We have gathered from diverse fields and deep expertise to provide insights into this important topic. Allow me to introduce the concept of the circular economy, a system where products and materials are kept in circulation through processes such as in manufacture, recycling, and compositing. The key players in this system is household, firms, and the government. They have a vital role to play, especially as we navigate ongoing reforms and the challenges of the situation. In Nigeria, we generate 32 million tons of solid waste annually. At the same time, we often resort to borrowing to finance projects and manage rising expenditures. These issues demand urgent attention and innovative solutions, which I trust our speakers will address comprehensively.
The theme, if critically looked into, is a good wine that needs no bush. The theme will surely stimulate discussions and draw attention towards positioning our economy at this artificial intelligence era in good perspectives. You will all agree with me that the economic agents are governments, households, and companies, firms. Why the circular future stands for recycling all our wastes, minimizing our wastes, converting waste to wealth, creating jobs and reducing criminalities. Redefining the status quo could mean harnessing the opportunities at our disposal as a forward-looking developing country, especially as Nigerian tax system is experiencing overhauling to stabilize Nigerian economy.
We're going into tax hack for this year. Who is excited for tax hack this year? Let's go. We had the first stage, which was the competition, and now we're having the presentation stage, which is the finals right about now. So we have 5 schools present right now, and they are.
Okay, we have Hamadu Bello University, we have the University of Ilorin, we have the University of Ibadan, we have the University of Lagos, and we have the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Moving over to the modalities for the presentation, we have 5 participating schools. 2 of the schools will be joining us online, virtually, while the 3 other schools are present with us here. You have 7 minutes in total for your presentation. I'm speaking also to the schools that are present here. All the 5 schools, you have 7 minutes in total for your presentation. 5 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for questions and answer.
All right, so we'll be going to the schools that are here physically present. Please let's try to follow as they give their presentations. University of Lagos.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ali Dayo Michael, and in the next 5 minutes, I'll be making a presentation on the topic, exploring the challenges and opportunities of implementing tax incentives for a circular economy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to first understand that according to the Federal Ministry of Environment, Nigeria's traditional economy generates a mountain of waste, estimated at 32 million tons annually. And naturally, the more the consumption of the country and its population, the higher its waste. And it is terrifying that Nigeria's population is growing, as it is estimated to increase by 2050. What this means is that we have a larger mountain of wastes, but other countries are transitioning. They are converting their wastes into wealth. Why not take this course of action? Unfortunately, Nigeria is only able to recycle 10% of its waste. Meanwhile, it's only able to collect only 20%. This means we are performing poorly. The best course of action, based on global best practices, is to adopt a circular economy. You have all known what a circular economy means. It means a model where nothing becomes a waste. Our products are collected and recycled, and then released back into the economy for circulation, preventing environmental pollution and impact on human health, as noted by the Ministry of the Environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the question then is, what are the prospects of implementing tax incentives in the circular economy? Although we have a current circular economy in Nigeria, it is not prospering as it should. Unfortunately, we are only able to recycle 10% of our waste. But if we implement tax incentives in the circular economy, there's an understanding that based on its nature, it would affect the consumption pattern of our citizens, and it would encourage businesses to participate in the sector. These are some of the prospects of implementing circular economy: environmental sustainability, revenue generation, employment creation, and foreign direct investment. However, ladies and gentlemen, it is important to consider the opportunities of implementing a circular economy in Nigeria. As we all know, some of the problems of Nigeria is implementation. And based on the nature of taxation itself, it must be backed by law. This is why tax incentives must be provided in tax codes. This then leads us to interrogate whether we have legal opportunities of actually implementing tax incentives in Nigeria. We do, ladies and gentlemen. We have the VAT Modification Order of 2024. It permits the waste management industry to keep VAT on scrap metals. That is, scrap metals are exempted from VAT, allowing businesses to save significant amounts of money in terms of input taxes. We also have the Pioneer Status Incentive under the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act, which allows small businesses to not pay tax for a given period of time. This allows businesses to enter the sector, considering it has incentive for them. And that way they are able to save a lot of money, take it into research and development, and also it would increase their turnover at the end of the day. However, this is not without certain challenges, and one of them is lack of legislative framework. The VAT order only caters for scraps, metals. However, some of our major sources of waste are food, plastic, wood, and many others, which means that there is no legal framework for this, and there is no incentive for businesses that focuses on plastic and others. Secondly, the Industrial Development Income Relief Act does not provide methods for businesses in the circular to claim tax refunds. In fact, they have not been recognized. There's also the minimum 10 million threshold required for them to even be entitled to pioneer status in the first place. These are some of the problems that currently exist. What are our recommendations? We have certain policy recommendations that we think that the government can adopt in order to incentivize businesses. One of them is comprehensive legislation and policies. The ongoing tax reform is an opportunity for us to adopt circular taxes and encourage others. Other countries like Sweden adopt their VAT to encourage people to participate in the circular economy. We can also do this. There's also public sensitization and training. With this little information of mine, I hope I've been able to illuminate your minds. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
So I'll be calling on the next school now. A round of applause for the University of Ibadan.
Today I'll be exploring the challenges and opportunity of implementing tax incentives for a circular economy. I believe personally that the circular economy is the future. Perhaps I'm right, because according to research, current trend shows that if we continue with our current consumption, we will need 3 planets by 2050. What is a circular economy? According to the AMYMAT Foundation, a circular economy is an economy based on 3 principles. Number 1, the principle of eliminating waste and pollution. Number 2, the principle of circulating products and materials. Number 3, the principle of regenerating nature. Basically, they are trying to say reduce, reuse, remake, and waste nothing. So one of the ways we can boost this circular economy is through tax incentives. Tax incentives are measures given by government to encourage consumers and businesses to invest or save more. They can be in form of tax holidays, credits, and exemptions. But taxes used mainly to encourage a circular are called circular taxes. Okay, circular taxes can be enforced through the life stage of products. Number 1, it can be the production stage, which involves increasing taxes on non-renewable materials to favor renewable ones. For example, it can be, we can place tax on the extraction of virgin materials. Circular taxes can also be at the use stage. They can involve tax reliefs to encourage reduce and reuse and repair. Basically, we can reduce VAT on second-hand goods to encourage people to use these goods, or we can reduce labor taxes on recycling materials. Circular taxes can also be at the end of life stage. It's at the end of life stage, it involves taxes that incentivize the appropriate disposal of materials. It can be landfill taxes or incineration taxes. Well, implementing circular taxes comes with its own challenges. Some of the challenges we may face include circular socio-cultural challenges. Well, in Nigeria today, most people have this mentality that second-hand goods are not good. Perhaps even if we implement these tax incentives, people will not still want to buy these materials because they are not good. So we need to change this mentality. Political structure and environment, that's another challenge we have. We need an healthy political structure. We need good government. Our government has to be brought on board, because without this, our tax incentives cannot work. Well, that's if they see it important enough to allow it to pass the bill. Tax administration, that's another challenge we may have if we don't take care of it. We need good tax administration, because personally there are some companies now that greenwash. They greenwash, so we need tax administrators to monitor these companies to ensure compliance and to penalize them when they are not using our taxes well. We also need complementary policies. Some of these complementary our tax incentives must not stand alone. We need complementary policies such as raising awareness, or we can send out circular extension workers. If we can get our tax incentives right for this circular economy, it opens up a lot of opportunities for us. Some of these opportunities include employment creation and boosting local economies. Okay, today the International Labour Organization predicts that the circular economy can create 24 million jobs globally. So if we put this tax incentive, perhaps it may create employment opportunities for our economies, such as ours. Import substitution. Okay, today, currently, Nigeria imports 27% of its industrial supplies and 12% of its raw materials. Imagine if we can cut this import and we'll be able to reduce our import and save our money. Tax incentives can also bring cheaper goods and services and generate revenue for government. My recommendation, I have one recommendation which I think is so fundamental, is for us to raise awareness. Let's adopt a bottom-top approach. Let's start from the schools, teach students how to recycle, go to the manufacturing industry, teach them that virgin materials are useful.
Moving over to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you ready for us? So your time starts now.
Good afternoon, panel of judges. Good afternoon, distinguished guests. Good afternoon to the organizers. Good afternoon to the timekeeper. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Elizabeth Chris, a student of Ahmadu University Zaria, and in the next few minutes, I shall be presenting on the topic, exploring challenges and opportunities for implementing tax incentives in a circular economy. If you can see my screen, this is the table of contents. It's more of a brief roadmap of what I'll be talking about. But for want of time, I shall give a summary. In Lagos, there was something that always caused me so much concern. I noticed that there was something that was similar to almost every street in Lagos, or the average street in Lagos State. And it's not a good thing, it's something that was a bad thing. And what is that thing? That is trash. For some reason, there was just trash everywhere. By the corner of people's houses, there was trash. On the street, there was trash. By the roadside, there was trash. In the gutter, there was trash. And I was wondering, why is this like this? Why does Nigeria not have a proper waste disposal or waste management system? And more importantly, since we have so much trash, why can't we make something out of it? We have abundance of it, it's everywhere, it's even causing a nuisance. Then why is there no opportunity to be made out of it? Can we not turn this trash to treasure? Or is it a solution that we cannot find an opportunity out of it? And this led me to do research, and that was when I came across a circular economy for the first time. And I realized that the concept of a circular economy is a game changer that Nigeria needs. Nigeria suffering from a lack of effective waste management system, major health and environmental concerns. But for us to have an effective circular economy, it needs to be supported by an effective tax policy framework. I'll just give a brief explanation of what tax incentives and circular economy is to explain the concept of my presentation. Tax incentives are simply policies that the government implements, tax policies and tax benefits to encourage businesses to go into a particular sector or to engage in particular activities. And it could be through tax breaks, tax credits, or tax holidays. The circular economy, on the other hand, is an economic system that seeks to reduce waste and the consumption of resources by promoting reuse, recycling, and materials. A circular economy is the opposite of a linear economy, which ends in disposal. But in a circular economy, there is no end. It goes on like a circle. We keep getting the maximum value out of material. Now, what is the link between tax incentives and circular economy? The link is simply this. There is no better motivator to get anybody to do anything than money. That is just the truth. As people would say, or as the European man said, money is what makes the world go round. If the government wants a circular economy, then the best motivator is financial benefits to businesses. And this financial benefits comes in the form of tax incentives. Now, what are the opportunities of implementing tax incentives in a circular economy? The first is the encouragement of sustainable practices in Nigeria. Nigeria is among companies that have signed and pledged their support to the sustainable developmental goals, and a circular economy is one way of achieving those goals. The second opportunity is that it presents a solution to the problem of waste pollution. I talked earlier about how there was just so much waste around me that it caused me so much concern, and it brought a memory to the fore of my mind. When I was younger, there was a promo that mineral companies, soft drink companies, used to back then on the bottle tops or the canters. There'll be a promo code, and then you bring these canters and you get a free drink or something. And Indomie people started to do the same thing. So then canters that were everywhere and Indomie packets that were everywhere became rare, like gold. You will not see them. Things that used to be waste product everywhere, they became rare because everybody had packed them. There was no waste material anywhere anymore. So this is something that can be done to solve the problem of waste pollution. Thirdly, it promotes development and adoption of eco-friendly technologies. When tax incentives, for instance, are given an investment to renewable energy technologies such as solar or wind or hydroelectricity, then Nigeria's reliance on fossil fuels will reduce. I read on the news that for the 12th time, the national grid has collapsed. Imagine if there were tax incentives to support businesses going into alternative renewable energy sources. We would not be having such problems. The last opportunity is job creation and economic growth. However, there are some challenges to implementing tax incentives. One is lack of a suitable framework. Secondly, is potential revenue loss to the government. Tax incentives that the government is losing in the short run but gaining in the long run. And the last is inequitable distribution of tax benefits. Tax incentives are more likely to be enjoyed by large companies and corporations rather than SMEs. There are many companies who have tax incentives. I'll be rounding up very quickly. Some of them are Netherlands, Sweden, Canada, Denmark, and Japan. If it's working for them, then why can't it work for us? Why can't we learn from them? They don't have two heads over there. We don't have two heads over here. So they are gaining advantages from a circular economy. We can gain the same advantage.
Time up.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
So the next school we'll be calling up would be
University of Ibadan.
The world as it is now continues to battle with several problems, including armed conflicts, hunger, healthcare issues, among other things. But neither is arguably as big as the problem of climate change. For Nigeria in particular, it has actually been affected by several waves of drought, floods, and deforestation, pollution. But it's not solely a Nigerian problem, it's a global one, as every single country in the world has been affected by this. And to combat this, several solutions have been proffered. Several solutions have been provided, and neither is arguably as effective as the circular economic model. But before we do that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Kolaole Joshua, and with me is Abido Kunjani, and we'll be representing Team Ilorin for this debate, for this speech. So firstly, we'd like to talk about what the circular economy is. The circular economy is an economic model which promotes continual use, recycling, and regeneration of material products. So resources are valued and products are designed for their durability and their regenerability. So this may be contrasted with the traditional economic model, which is characterized by a take, make, and dispose approach. So the process involves the extraction of raw materials, the transformation into finished goods, and consumption by end users, and eventual disposals as waste. So in a nutshell, the circular economy represents a paradigm shift from the traditional model of production and consumption to the circular economic model, which is characterized by regeneration, sustainability, and resource efficiency. Now, we would now like to intersect taxation and the circular economic model. So taxation, when utilized correctly and optimally, can actually be a very, very good tool. Taking Nigeria as an example, in this section 20 of the Nigerian Constitution provides for the environmental objectives of the Nigerian state. It emphasizes the duty of the government to protect and preserve the environment. Also, in the same vein, National Tax Policy 2017 also provides that tax policies, laws, and administration should be made to advance the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy. And also, in addition, the same official document, that is the NTP, also identifies sustainability as one of the key principles that should guide the Nigerian tax system. So a combined interpretation of this would certainly imply that Nigeria can actually utilize the fiscal tools to achieve the circular economic model. Now, I would now like to introduce the opportunities that Nigeria can gain from introducing the circular economic model.
There are many opportunities for businesses and government in a circular economy. One for the business is the opportunity of profitability. It reduces their waste and consumption, and thereby it leads to saving of their costs and it enhances their efficiency in realizing their profit. Also, secondly, for businesses, it attracts foreign direct investors, angel investors, and as well venture capitalists that build into the circular economy, and thereby it increases the opportunity of attracting foreign investors. And thirdly, for the businesses, competitive advantage. A business who takes circular economy into perfect use definitely will benefit from the tax incentives and as well save more in terms of production, and of course be far higher than those of their competitors who are non-compliant to the circular economy. For the opportunities for the government, it enhances climate change mitigation. That is, transitioning to a circular economy reduces government greenhouse emission, and of course it reduces droughts and deforestation. Also, for the government, economic growth, it enhances economic growth. So it creates new industry jobs and markets to enhance sustainable products. And also, part of the challenges that can be faced with adopting a circular economy is lack of implementation. When a particular economy wants to implement this, it will be very hard on them because there are no certain penalty posed on those who do not follow the lack of implementation. And also, financial constraints can as well be a big challenge in terms of taking circular economy. Also, balancing profitability can also be a great challenge while facing this circular economy. Conclusively, the implementation of tax incentive to assess circular model remains double-sided. One side, the challenge, while on the other side, an opportunity. Now, on the other side, it can certainly not be overlooked because the failure for business to adopt these practices, that is, it can cause financial constraints and, of course, loss of revenue on their side. So, for government to enhance a circular economy, they need to promote and incentives to aid the businesses, and of course.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for them.
So right now we'll be having Akinola from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Akinola, are you ready for us? So your time starts now.
My name is Akinola from the University of Nigeria, and I'll be making a presentation on the topic exploring challenges and opportunities for implementing tax initiative for a circular economy. So what is, first and foremost, I would like to tell you that there are two types of economy. We have the traditional linear economy, which is sometimes referred to as the take-make-waste economy. A system where resources are extracted to make products that usually end up as waste and thrown away. Products and materials are generally not used to their full potential in the linear economy, and as the name suggests, always moves in a one direction, from raw materials to waste. So in a layman's term, a linear economy is a system in which people buy a product, use it, and then throw away. Moving ahead, circular economy is based on three principles: reduce, reuse, and recycle. A circular economy keeps materials and products in circulation as long as possible. It reduces material use, redesigns materials and products less resource intensive, and captures waste as a resource to manufacture materials and products. So what are the challenges? The challenges in implementing tax incentives for the circular economy. Circular economy, number one, we have the policy and regulation issue. The circular economy policies are usually consistent with existing tax frameworks. For instance, tax on labor discourage, repair, and refurbishment activities, critical circular model. Current tax system tends to favor the linear resource-intensive industries, making alignment with circular economy objectives a bit difficult. And also, introducing tax incentive for circular economy requires redesigning the physical system without disrupting economic stability. For instance, shifting subsidy away from resource extraction towards recycling will face significant resistance. Then we also have economic and financial barriers. Many businesses find the upfront cost of adopting circular methods such as transitioning to recycled material or redesigning supply chains prohibitive. In the construction sector, recycled materials often cost more than virgin alternatives due to insufficient economies of scale. Government also fear significant revenue loss from tax breaks and circular products. For example, reducing value-added tax or repair services can benefit consumers, but reducing short-term fiscal aid. Also, we also have lack of awareness. Business and consumers are often unaware of circular economy. Just like I am, I only became aware of circular economy because of this LC competition. So industry dependent on extractive or disposable products typically lobby against circular initiatives, bearing revenue loss. For example, most oil companies have resistant subsidy reallocation towards renewable energy. We also have the issue of measurement and evaluation. Measuring effectiveness of tax incentives in promoting circular economy poses another challenge. Unlike traditional economic metrics, such as employment rate, the impact of circular policies is harder to quantify. For instance, while the reduction in resource consumption or waste generation is a positive outcome, it comes achieved indirectly tax incentives without standardized evaluation frameworks. Then what are the opportunities for effective implementation of tax incentives? Number one, we have our policy recommendations. For tax incentives to be effective, we have to align well-defined circular economy objectives at national and state level. Why reinvent the wheel? Why reinvent the wheel? Learning from successful initiatives elsewhere can accelerate this progress. Denmark, for instance, their waste to energy tax system, for instance, reward industries that divert waste from landfill to energy production. Then we also have financial innovations. Public-private partnerships are crucial for distributing financial risks and reward. Circular economy projects even more high upfront costs, which can deter private investment. Through PPP, government can offer tax incentives alongside grant subsidies, mitigating risks for businesses. Then we also have enhancing awareness and capacity. Public awareness campaigns are essential for improving consumer and business awareness. Effective communication of the benefits of tax incentives, lower costs, reduce environmental impact, and drive engagement. Leveraging on digital technology is my last point. We have instances where blockchain have been used by companies like Plastic Bank to reward individuals for collecting and recycling plastic, supported by tax benefits for corporate sponsors. Governments could also adopt similar models to incentivize businesses. Thank you very much.
So with that, we've come to the end of Tax Hack for this year. The judges will compile the results and the winners will be announced. So today's debate presentation has been so informative. So I'll just go straight to the results. All right, so for UNN, we have 85 points. For ABU Zaria, we have 75 points. For University of Ibadan, we have 70 points. For the University of Ibadan, we have 76 points. And then finally, we have for the University of Lagos, 91 points. So it means that the ranking is UNILAG first, UNN second, University of Ibadan third, ABU Zaria fourth, Lauren fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of Tax Watch 7.0. Celebrate yourselves.